So this is Mice and Mystics, and this is just kind of a handmade prototype that we made so we could show it here at Origins. All the graphic design, that's final, but the final component quality isn't here.
Okay.
With the exception of these dice. These are the final dice. You've got all these different symbols that for ranged attack and melee attack and gaining cheese, because you are mouse adventurers in this game. The game comes with 22 minis. These are just a sampling of those. Rats and centipedes and all the things your mice have to fight through.
Cool.
So during this demo, we're going to use these little poker chips just because I don't have all the minis here for the convention. The game comes also with this 55-page storybook. So you're going to work your way chapter by chapter through a storybook as you play the game. And the storybook just does a number of things. We just have the first chapter here at the convention. But it starts with a prologue that the first time you play, you can read through and get the backstory of what's going on, set the mood, and then it goes into each chapter. Before the chapter, there's a few paragraphs of text that you read to set the chapter, and then sometimes when something happens, there's a paragraph that's read. So it does some linear storytelling, but inside of that, it does some emergent storytelling in what happens while we're here, and these encounter cards are going to come up, and depending on where we're at, it'll be different minions that show up, and sometimes a surge is going to happen as things start to go badly for us. Sometimes a surge will happen and a spider will come out, and now we have to deal with a spider who's much tougher. Okay. Or even like a chapter-specific surge, like you might end up running into the Castle Tomcat Brody who will mess you up, that you have to like fight off and get him to go away. So why don't we go ahead and get started and run you guys through some turns. For the sake of the video's length, I'm not going to read through the first chapter of text, but basically our heroes get turned into mice in order to escape their jail cell. And so we start in the guard room, and all the guards were turned into rats by the evil sorceress who you guys are trying to thwart and were thrown into jail by. So what we do here is we put all of our mouse heroes, we all need to choose one here. All right. And we'll put, so I'll be Tilda, the healer.
Who would you like to be? Pick a class.
Oh, fighter, of course.
All right. Colin?
Colin's a good fighter.
We'll make you the leader.
And you know I got to be the rogue, so... Filch, oh, that's...
Wow.
And, I guess I can be...
The mage.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, like I said, we're using poker chips here for this demo, and we put all of our poker chips right here, I believe.
Okay.
We're all stacked up in a space.
Up?
Yeah, the small figures can go 4 to a space.
Okay.
And large figures are 1 to a space.
Sure.
And so we're all small figures, so we'll stack us here.
Okay.
And then rats have shown up. The guards are rats. And they're here to mess with us.
Got it.
I believe that's right. The right number. Oh, no, it's only 3 rat warriors in here.
It's gotten easier.
That's how good we are.
That's right.
Frightened off the other ones, yeah.
So the way you determine initiative in this game is that you take all of the guys that are playing. So we got Filch, Tilda, Colin, Meganos, and then we put in the rat warriors because they're on the board. And we shuffle up these initiative cards.
Nice.
Okay.
And they go along this initiative track here.
Okay.
So Tilda will go first, and then Colin, and then Filch, and then the rat warriors, and then Meganos.
All right.
So since Colin wasn't the first one, we get cheese?
He gets a cheese, yeah. You all have these special abilities
Oh, okay.
here in front of you.
Add 1 cheese to his stash.
And then the storybook will also tell you certain things about the room you're in that chapter. So like in this chapter, if a surge happens, instead of doing the surge effect on an encounter card, 2 rat warriors are going to show up.
Okay.
And we can do a special search in the helmet to find the Tinkerer's treasure. We don't have a Tinkerer in our group. That was Nez.
Yeah.
So not worth bothering over.
Let's just kill some rats.
All right.
Right, so Tilda goes first. That's me. So to move, I look at my move value, which is 2, and I roll a die. And I look at the number on that, which is 1, so I can move up to 3 spaces. So I will move Tilda 1, 2, I'm going to head over here to this rat.
Okay.
And then I'm going to combat the rat. So I'm going to roll 2 dice because that's my combat value. And I don't have, my weapon doesn't add anything to my combat value unless I have wounded mice in my space. That's her weapon's ability. So I'm going to roll my 2 dice, and I'm looking for swords. So I got 2 swords. The rats have a defense of 2. So if somebody wants to roll 2 dice for the rats there. And they didn't get any shields, so he didn't block it. He only has 1 wound before he's gone. So I managed to kill that rat off.
Well done, Tilda.
So
And
are all the dice multi-purpose with their?
yeah. There's these POW symbols, the number, and then the big symbol all mean different things and come into play at different times.
Okay.
The number most often with move, but sometimes there's a story effect that'll come in and we'll use it.
Okay.
Colin's up next.
Colin.
Oh,
That's
me.
you.
Okay.
Oh, we also have these special ability cards. There were more cards. We just had some preset, but there's a bunch of ability cards that you can pick according to your class. And each time you level up, get a full cheese wheel, 6 cheese,
Okay.
you can pick a new ability.
I like it.
Nice.
Aha.
All right.
And,
So,
and is it the number in the corner, is that what it costs?
That's the
to
number of
use it?
cheese you have to spend to use that.
Okay, so you sacrifice leveling up
Right.
for abilities.
How did you get a cheese?
Because
Oh, you start
I
with it.
wasn't.
He's not first, he's last.
I wasn't first on the initiative chart. So I have a move of 2. So I'm in here somewhere. Here, this is.
Yep, and
Prince,
you
I'm
can
a
roll a
prince.
die as well and add
roll-
that to it.
roll a die.
So you have a
2.
move of 4 this turn.
So I will just I'll just go like here. Yes. Get ready to go after that guy as well.
Okay.
And I will attack him. I have an attack of 2 plus the sword as well.
Exactly right. So
I
you're
got
rolling
3
3 dice. You got 1 hit, and the rat blocked it with his shield.
He was expecting it.
That's right.
He saw you coming.
Yeah.
Right.
And next up is Filch.
Okay, so I've got a move of 3. Plus
5.
2 is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's engage this fella. Me with my dagger.
He walked over to 3.
Yeah, and there's a little thing.
Right. Yeah. We're going to get to that. That's one of the really cool mechanics.
Oh, okay.
So Filch is attacking this
Right,
rat.
so I get 2 of these. I don't add anything else.
You have 2 of those, and the dagger, since you're higher than the rats on the initiative track,
Oh, right,
means
yeah.
that they'll roll 1 less die for defense.
Well done.
You got
sir.
1 hit and 1 cheese, so you earn cheese.
Well done.
And he rolled no shields, so you took out that rat.
Sneak attack!
I'm holding him off.
Yeah. Well done. All right.
And I believe you get a cheese each time.
After Filch defeats a minion, add 1 cheese to Filch's stash. If it was a rat, you may take this cheese from the minion wheel.
So you got another cheese for defeating a minion.
Is this the minion wheel here?
Yeah,
Is that-
as the minions roll cheese when attacking and defending, cheese is going to start
had to
to
make a joke,
build up
joke.
here.
To
And when
clog up.
that becomes a wheel, that's when a surge happens. And this hourglass marker moves 1 page further on the track. If this ever reaches the end, we lose. So and the other way it moves is each time one of our characters gets captured, it moves as well.
Okay.
And so we have
Awesome.
to get through the story before it ends and the minions win.
Sure. Nice.
So next up is
You're
the Rat
right.
Warriors. Supposed to roll a die, and that's their movement value for the turn, so 2. But he's just going to move towards the closest guy and just try to get in the space with them. So he's coming after Colin.
Is there a difference between being in the same space and not?
Yeah, there can be. Like Tilda, some of her abilities are about being in the same space.
Okay.
There's different things, and 4 small guys in a space fills up that space, so more guys can't get in.
Okay.
If you are outnumbered by minions in your space, you can't move out of that space. So the other mice can
Nice
come and
mechanic.
help fight it off, and then the guy who's wounded can get out of there.
Okay.
Nice mechanic.
So the rat rolls 2 dice. His attack value is 2.
Pete, what's your defense value?
He hits with 1.
2.
So you roll your 2 defense, and you're trying to block 1 hit. You
And
didn't,
not.
so you take a wound.
For the
3
team.
wounds and you'll be captured, but you'll come back once we clear the space if you're captured.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
So there's
clever.
no
It's
player
Not killed,
limb.
it's captured.
Right. And even the minions are defeated, not killed. We try to do a really family friendly kind of
Yeah,
thing to
sure.
it.
All right. I'm gonna see if I move. Right.
Yep.
So I got to move 2. So I can move 3.
But you have a ranged weapon.
attack,
That little
correct.
bow and arrow symbol means that you can attack from range.
Okay.
You add your battle value plus that,
Plus
so
that.
2 dice.
Okay.
And ranged attacks can be done from anywhere on the tile, as
Okay.
long as your line of sight isn't blocked by something like the wall here.
Okay.
Or Colin.
Well, and that was going to be my next question. If they're in the same space, is there any...
They don't block line of sight.
Okay.
I'm just holding them off.
All right. Well, then I will fire at him with my magic staff.
You're looking for bow symbols, of which you got 1, and the rat's going to roll to defend, and
Yeah.
he did.
That's one tough rat.
Well done, Junior Adventure.
It's back to Tilda. So I'm going to run up and try to get in the space with Colin, because my ability is that I get to roll an extra die when attacking for each wounded mouse in the same space with me.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
But I don't think I rolled high enough. Let's see, I got 3. So 1, 2, yep, I got in there.
Okay.
And now I'm rolling 3 dice against this rat. And I got 2 hits. Somebody want to roll 2 defense for the rat? Got him.
Yay, Tilda.
Hey, Tilda.
Rat defeated.
Where's comma and asterisk?
So I moved
had
and
moved it.
attacked. So you can do an action and then move, or you can move and then do an action.
Okay.
And among your actions are battle, which we've been doing a lot of.
Right.
A search, which lets you roll a die, and if you get the little POW symbol down there,
Okay.
you get to draw a search card.
Okay.
Most of those are good. Some of them can do bad stuff, events will happen.
Okay.
Scurry, which lets you move again, or explore.
Like a
And there's 2 ways to explore. You can
Okay.
explore at an exit if there's an adjacent tile. And you can go through, like, say that this were here, you could cross over
Okay.
because it's 2 aligned exits.
Right.
It's not, however.
Right.
It's over here. The other way you can explore, and we can't get from here to here because there's no exit. So the other way you can explore is on a flip tile, and that's this little symbol.
Okay.
So let's say that we go ahead and use our moves to get here to this flip symbol, and we don't need to all be on it. Just one of us has to use an explore action while no minions are on the board. You can never explore when there's minions on the board.
Okay.
So we flip the tile over, we drop through the sewer grate and splash down into the sewer. And now we're underground, so that'll get us to the underground kitchen tunnel tile.
Okay.
Nice.
And then we're in some water here,
And it has a flow.
and it has a flow. So at the end of our turn, if we're in that water, we're going to move 1 space in this direction. If it would ever move us off the board, that mouse is captured.
Okay.
You can only move 1 space in water, and to get out of water, you spend your whole move to do it, and you have to roll a die, and you need to get the POW symbol. For every mouse on the space you're moving into on the bank, they're helping you up. You get to roll another die.
Okay.
There is a couple of rules in here. One is there's a special search in the sewer. You can search for the fish hook and thread. That's a really cool little useful item. If you have the fish hook and thread, you can place it on the tile, and it lets you move from any 2 spaces that it links as just 1 regular move. So it helps you get out of water. Yeah, use it like a grappling hook. Or it'll let you cross these red lines you normally couldn't cross. You can grapple up onto the kitchen counter.
Okay.
Nice.
There's only one of these.
The fish hook and thread, yeah. There's other ways to get, like on this kitchen counter, this yellow arrow, if you try to go against an arrow,
Okay.
you can, but it costs you 3 moves. So you can basically scurry up the
Scurry
mop
up the
handle,
mop
or you
handle,
can
like-
go the quick way with the fish hook and thread.
Okay.
Sweet.
And all the maps are per the scenario or per the story.
Yeah, there's 8 of these big tiles, and they're set up different in each different chapter.
I'm loving it.
Excellent. And when you flip this over, do new monsters
Yep,
populate?
that's
Okay.
when we draw an encounter card,
Okay.
and we compare where the hourglass marker is on the track. It's on page 1, so it's 6 roaches. So we grab some roaches here. These guys show up.
Oh,
And so you put them on the footprints?
Yep.
Okay.
And then we go ahead and we do the initiative order again.
So all the roaches go together?
Yep.
Now, how long does Colin stay wounded, and how do we get rid of that?
I have a first aid ability that I can help him out with, but I don't have any cheese to use it with.
Got
It
it.
normally costs 2, but I'm a healer, so it costs 1 for me.
Okay.
Once you can trade cheese, you can trade items. It's a free action. It just happens to happen on your turn.
Okay.
Okay.
So we should have done that before flipping through the tile.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Now, the more times you go through initiative, does that progress the story?
Nope, it's only
And-
when the wheel fills up and when one of your mice becomes captured.
So when we clear an area, we can spend as much time in there as we
Oh
want?
no, once it gets to the end of the track and there are no minions on the board, and you're dilly-dallying, searching and whatnot, a cheese goes on the wheel and the counter keeps on coming.
Okay, fantastic. Got it.
Nez held his chin and observed the gloomy tunnels the mice had entered. I would guess these tunnels are mouse-made, he mused, dug out who knows how many centuries ago. Suddenly a familiar cry echoed down the tunnels from far away. That's Miss Maggie's voice, cried Colin. We must be near the kitchens, observed Tilda. The dear woman sounds distressed. Let's find her with all haste. So we have an optional side plot. After we clear this board with minions, we could go up into the kitchens to try to help Miss Maggie. And that would move this one page farther. And it would get us the Miss Maggie story ally token.
Okay.
So that would help us in future chapters.
Okay.
Or we could continue on because we're trying to get to the courtyard if we feel like we can't help you right now, Miss Maggie. We're in too much peril ourselves.
Yeah.
Up for pre-order now. Should be available to retailers around September.
September?
Yep.
Excellent.
What's
It'll
going
be in
on?
previews then?
Whatever.
Yeah.
It'll be at all the
Game
same
trade.
distributors
Okay.
Yeah.
that we use now, yeah.
And the MSRP?
$75. Because it's gonna have 22 miniatures. It's got 8 of these big board tiles, and then of course all this other stuff.
It's got a ship.
And it's a big fat box.